All right, YouTube. This Detroit's HPTV coming to you out of Detroit. It's Sunday morning. And I got a little clip I want to show you. And it's a clip of Joe Biden at an event. And I want you to see how Joe Biden totally snubs and ignores one of his black supporters, black woman supporter. And it's so humiliating and embarrassing for the young lady because she's standing right out front. You know, the Democrats orchestrate how he moves, so they actually positioned her in the front so that Joe Biden can come through and hug everybody and show that he loves black people and he's not Jim Crow Joe, the segregationist anymore. He's a newer, kinder, gentler Joe, not the one that said you were super predators. But as usual, Joe goes off script and shows his real self. See, I'm going to say this, and I've been seeing it a lot in the media, but people want to address it. Over there on the Democratic Party, there are a lot of black women who will betray and sell out not only their men, but their children for a position of authority and power. And that's what the Democrats offer them. See, they don't like black women particularly. They use them as a tool that they learned from way back in slavery time. They learned that if they can find a black woman who is ambitious and wants to be close to them, they can use her to keep all the rest of the slaves in line. You know, that's where the real big mama and mammy type situations come from. Master finding one that he can use, she becomes the big mouth, loud mouth that tells all the Negroes what they doing wrong. But in the end, Master is just using her as a tool. I don't know if you remember Roots. They showed you that in Roots, how they had Mama Bell, who worked in the kitchen, and she thought Master loved it until she made Master mad. And Master sold her daughter Kizzy down the road. And she cried like, Master, I know you wouldn't do me like this. But Master was like, you forgot? You think because I let you rule over Negroes that you're going to rule over me. And you could see that nowadays. And you see the Letitia Jameses and the Fannie Willises, and they come out and they so used to being put in a position of power over black men and over the children in the black community that they actually think that this government will let them rule over everybody. They think that Hispanic women want them to rule. They think that Asian women want them to rule. They think European women want them to rule. And they think the black man is the only one who don't want you in charge of nothing. Hey, I'm just speaking the truth. I know a lot of people ain't gonna like it, but you know why Hillary couldn't win against Trump? Women wouldn't even vote for other women. You know why the WNBA doesn't make money? Because women will not support the WNBA. They don't support each other unless it benefits them, a lot of them. This is not everybody. This is just a few. But what I want you to see Joe Biden and how he plays this young sister. And it's embarrassing and it's humiliating, but it's typical Jim Crow Joe. So I'm going to do a reaction to the brother over here. I'll be doing a couple reactions to him. His name, A Righteous Perspectives channel. He has a lot of good information. And this is for fair use under 1976 Copyright Act for educational purposes and commentary. Check this out. And the First Amendment.
All right, before I play this video, so many people out there, especially, black women, older black men, they have said that the parties switched way back when. Democrats and Republicans, they switched. They also said that Joe Biden's not racist. Maybe he was back in the day, but he couldn't be in this day and age because he has the most diverse cabinet in U.S. history. That's what they say. He's also put in more black judges than any other president in U.S. history. That's what they say. But this right here is an example of exactly who President Joe Biden is. Let's check this out. And we are going to...
Hold on, let me say this. Joe Biden did not put in more black judges than anybody in history. He only put in one, Ketanji Brown Jackson, a black woman married to a Caucasian who goes in front of Congress and is asked by another woman, what is the definition of a woman? And this woman, this black woman he put in there, said that she could not define what a woman is, even though she is a black woman. She couldn't just lift up her skirt and see if she was a woman or not. She sat there in front of Congress and asked by a woman, could she give the definition of what a woman is? And this is exactly who Joe Biden nominated to the Supreme Court. Just think about that. It was a woman on the Supreme Court who cannot define what a woman is. And they talk about Trump's pick. You mean you picked a woman who would get in front of Congress and she toes the company line and the propaganda narrative for the Democratic Party to such a degree she will not even tell you she knows what a woman is? You tell me that ain't a threat to democracy, as they say, a threat to human nature. You have a woman on the Supreme Court for life who cannot and will not even give the definition of what a woman is. How can you expect her to be fair or reasonable with anything? Think about that. That's who he put on the Supreme Court.
Have a little commentary as this thing goes. So, as you can see here, President Biden is, I think, taking selfies, with some people. We got a, nice young white gentleman there. As you can see, the sister gets overlooked. Look at the look on her face. She gets overlooked. She doesn't look happy. She looks sad. That's so unfortunate because she's there with the Biden-Harris poster. You'll see the Biden-Harris poster. And I don't know what she said or what was said to her. I have no idea. But you see the lady behind, she gets a hug. She taps him. She tapped him on and asked, I guess maybe, can I get a photo or a hug or something? I don't know. But right then and there, I think that's when she realized, like, wow, this guy is not who we thought he was. It's sad, man.
And you ain't black. Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids.
You got the first sort of mainstream African American who was articulate and bright and clean and nice-looking guy.
Biden recalling his early Senate career, bringing up two segregationist senators, Herman Talmadge and James Eastland, who called African Americans an inferior race. I was in a caucus with James O. Eastland, Biden said. He never called me boy. He always called me son. At least there was some civility. We got things done.
The senators that he is speaking of with such adoration are individuals who made and built their reputation on segregation. The Ku Klux Klan celebrated the election of one of them.
Using the word boy in the way he did can cause hurt and pain, and we need a presidential nominee and the leader of our party to be sensitive to that.
My Democratic colleagues don't like me saying this. I think the two-party system is good for the South and good for the Negro, good for the black. Other than the fact that they still call me boy, I think they've changed their mind.
As also noted, Robert C. Byrd was a parliamentary library, a keeper of the institution of the Senate, and he was the institution itself. For a lot of us, he was a friend. and he was a mentor, and he was a guide.
1987, he bragged about getting an award from George Wallace.
Biden bragged about an award from the notorious segregationist Governor George Wallace and told the Philadelphia Inquirer, "I think the Democratic Party could stand a liberal George Wallace, someone who's not afraid to stand up and offend people."
You cannot go to a 7-Eleven or a Dunkin' Donuts unless you have a slight Indian accent. Unlike the African-American community, with notable exceptions, the Latino community is an incredibly diverse community with incredibly different attitudes about different things. They're going to put you all back in chains.
Biden was remarking to an audience in South Virginia that included hundreds of black voters.
Hey, if Haiti just quietly sunk into the Caribbean or rose up 300 feet, it wouldn't matter a whole lot.
The reason I was able to stay sequestered in my home is because some black woman was able to stack the grocery shelf.
One thing Biden is being slammed for is the crime bill he helped write 25 years ago.
So, I don't understand for the life of me why people continue to support this guy. I don't understand for the life of me why black people are supporting this guy. Last time around, they supported this guy at over 90%. Now, we definitely know that will not be the case this time around, but we do know that black women are going to continue to support this guy. Even after this clip right here, there will be the Simone Sanders, there will be the Kamala Harrises, there will be the Joy Reids. They'll be out there defending this behavior. They'll be out there defending why he did not take a selfie or even shake this young lady's hand. He flat out ignored her. They'll jump out there and they'll defend this. I don't know how they're going to spin it, but they'll figure a way to spin it. And then next thing you know, the talking points will go out and everybody will say the exact same things over and over again. But this is sad because this is a young lady, obviously, who supports this administration. But this administration obviously does not care or support people that look like her. Now, what we do know is that every major metropolitan in America is liberal-led. And typically, majority of your black folks are going to live in these types of cities. And they're some of the most dangerous places. The schools are some of the least funded. And the communities are over-policed, or maybe policed just enough because there's tons of crime that runs rampant in these cities. And it's a mess. And these people have zero incentive on changing anything. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Like, share, subscribe to the channel. Drop me a comment down below. Consider joining
Now I'm going to add a little commentary after what he said. Do you remember how the Asians got a crime bill? When that massage parlor was attacked and they was unalived? You know, Joe Biden gave them an Asian crime bill because 5 Asians women lost their lives. Shortly, a few months after that, 8 older black women at a grocery store in upstate New York lost their lives in the same way. And Biden administration refused to give them a crime bill or some type of protection. But see, Kamala Harris, she said, we're not going to do anything specifically for black people. That's what she told black people to their face. So the very fact that you have a large amount of black Americans still on the Democratic plantation shows a very high degree of brainwashing, self-loathing, and fear. Brainwashing, self-loathing, and fear. Because how could you support a party that has so much disdain for you, even though you are their #1 supporters? See, that's why I said the black women like Simone Sanders and Joy Reid and those, they get an immediate benefit. They get paid to be pundits. They don't even believe half the things they say. But they also have a situation where they're so divisive that they have to travel with security because they say things so provocative that they need security. But the women that look just like them at the grocery stores and places that are soft targets have no protection. And they know that, and they still poke the bear in a lot of instances because they don't care. They are betraying the community. They are betraying the country. They are paid propagandists. Because how could you support Joe Biden at this particular time? Look at his behavior. Look what he says. And all they offer you is abortion. And fear mongering. This is crazy. You've seen how he deliberately overlooked the black girl, went all behind her, and she looking at, she's tapping him, and she's holding the sign, and all he sees is this little black girl. I don't want to touch her. You know, he don't know the camera watching him like that, so he's always going off script. So, you know, it's really weird what's going on in these times. It's almost like Elijah Muhammad used to say, they love the devil because the devil gives them nothing. He used to say that, you know, to his followers. He said our people love the devil because the devil gives them nothing. I never understood it, just like I don't understand how they come out and supported this man when he's so disrespectful. And you see all the crime over the 4th of July weekend, all the mass shootings, 11 unalived in Chicago alone, in our communities, our Democratic ran communities, our war zones. Now with the immigrants, third world countries. And you want 4 more years of Joe Biden. 4 more years of lawlessness, debauchery, crime. Just so you can have a rainbow. I told you a lot of people will sell out and betray their whole race just for a job, just for a promotion, just to be able to tell somebody what to do. I know a lot of people like that. They will betray you and sell you out just so they can have $5 more than you, just so they can be above you and look down upon you. Those are the types over there at the Democratic Party. And they call everybody else sellouts and bootlegs. Them are the most traitorous Negroes ever born in this country. All you got to do is pay attention to how they come out like attack dogs for Biden. They defend everything he said. They defend the crime bill, the drug bill, him calling us super predators. He's saying we'll turn school into jungle. They defend everything he does to us because they just don't like Trump. Trump ain't passed not one bill that affects us. They say Trump lies about everything. Trump lies about everything. And every time they say that, we find out that Trump was telling the truth, just like he was talking about during the pandemic with China. It comes out later, oh, Trump was telling the truth. But they still love Biden this much. But you see that sister's face, I bet she won't vote for him. You think she'll vote for him, the sister that he just played like that? You think she's sick enough to vote for him? Is she slave enough to vote for him? You guys tell me. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. This is Detroit's HPTV coming to you out of Detroit. Support Detroit's Black Thought and Action Collective, the nonprofit out of Detroit. As always, salute to all patriots. Keep your head on a swivel. Like, share, and subscribe. Peace.